Alright, I think I'm a loudness. First off, welcome to the video. Thank you for clicking on it, and I'm gonna try to be as teacherive as I can looking. So this is the first video of how to make a beginner beat. Then the next one I'm gonna do what I think is an intermediate, then what I think is what quote unquote experts usually do. It's not per se I could make a whole beat in this video, but I'm primarily just showing the blueprint. I mean, everything is subjective, so I'm just giving what I believe the blueprints is for this level of beat making, so you can go off and actually create your own little projects. Yes, I did not start with the DAW videos, but after this video I'm gonna make a video on DAWs and which one you should pick. My personal opinion on that is it's all kind of subjective. But if you have an Apple computer, there's like one two that work better on that one versus Windows. So I'm gonna just give all what I know about those and what I would recommend depending on what platform you are on / budget too, because a lot of them are very expensive and what you get isn't really worth it. Next video I will have the DAWs and what I explain, but in this one I'm gonna teach you how to make your first beat. So first, you're going to obviously turn your computer on and open up FL. I'm going to show you what everything is. It may look overwhelming, but it's really not. Half the stuff here you really won't use since it's your first beat. So don't really expect anything. Don't download your DAW and try to produce some Metro Boomin or Calvin Harris or anything so extravagant. Probably could. There's people out there, but just have fun with it. Don't make it work. It'd be weird if it worked. But I'm gonna start by showing you what all these little buttons are. These little buttons don't really matter for a beginner besides the metronome. Metronome will just help you stay on key when you're arranging, adding, and whatnot. This one, when you're recording via MIDI, it won't start recording until you start playing on your keyboard and or MIDI controller. I don't really like this one because it can be laggy. I'd rather just let it play out a few times then just start playing it. This is the countdown before recording, so it'd be like, show you real quick. Just everything. Then wherever you have your recording set, it'll start recording. That one, once again, I don't use either, because I just hit record and just whatever I'm recording, just record. I don't need. I feel like these are like, yeah, it messes up for me. This is the blend recording, and this is loop recording. Loop recording, it just keep looping whatever you recorded, so you can hear how the loop would potentially sound. Blend recording, I'm not too sure what this is. This is a newer feature, but I'm pretty sure this is just allow you. Say you made a recording to easily put a sound above your recording. I can do more research on that one, but once again, this is the beginner video. The main things you need to worry about is right here. This is how you add patterns and view all your patterns. I already got a pattern 1 there for time. I'm gonna explain that too. The first one right here is your playlist. The playlist is the giant square thing in the back that disappeared. This is your playlist. You got track 1 to all the way to 500. Yes, you can use all those, but just note the more sounds you have in your playlist, the more CPU / RAM it's going to require from your computer. So if you don't have a computer that can handle a lot going on, then I just recommend you stay within like 20. But then again, it really depends on what you're doing, because it can be 5. But I get into specs and all that too in another video. Specs isn't that big of a deal besides CPU and RAM. And if you're not making a gaming PC, most people know who are in the PC space, CPU and RAM is pretty cheap, especially if you're not gonna get the GPU. Most of your costs can be the CPU and GPU, but if you're only buying one, you're saving a lot of money. Next is the piano roll. There we go. The piano roll is my favorite place to hang out, where you can build chords via recording. So you hit record, Just start recording right. I was just banging on my keyboard to the right of me. I wasn't looking at it. But as you see, it started recording. So if you wanna add notes to this via point and click, you can do that, or your MIDI controller. Now, hands down, FL has the best piano roll in all the DAWs. And in my video, I will show all the DAWs side by side. Well, not all of them. I will show. I only own FL, but I've used GarageBand, and I've kind of used I'll call it Pro Tools, but I've done a lot of research, all of them, so I can at least give you buyers, not a buyer's guide, but tips on the DAWs. But piano roll is dope. And one to the right of that is the channel rack. Now the channel rack is where all your sounds are stored from the plugin picker. Here we go. This area right here is the plugin picker. That's later. Channel rack will hold all your sounds, like I said, and instead of the piano roll, you can plug virtually anywhere and add any sound you want. Channel rack, you have these little nodes you can click on, and these nodes are sound hits. You can you can right click on them, and this little drop down menu will open up. You can fill each 2 for 8-step. Advanced fill, I don't really do advanced fill. If I'm using this at all, it's just to get the tempo and just like bounce. So just hit like 4-step, or if you want the normal hi-hat roll, 2-step. Add your snare for each 8-step. If you like that, you're already finished. Music production is super subjective. Oh, there we go. You can hit Control X. I forgot what key it was, but if you have all this filled up, just double click any button. Well, not even double click the little space in between the name and the nodes, and just hit Control X, and then delete everything. Control Z if you want to, go back. Or if you can't go back quickly, you can go to View in the top left and go to Undo History. That'll pop up right here, and it'll show you literally everything. You can go back to literally whatever part you want to fix. You can. The further down is the more recent. As you see, this is where we have everything selected. This is where I hit Control Z, and this is where I actually clicked here. So when I hit this is where we filled up everything, and this is where I controlled X, and this is where I actually clicked on the node. So when I Control Z, it only went back to this, instead of going back to here. But very nice to know where that's at, because there's many times where I accidentally deleted stuff, or you be zooming around, you move pattern, or you move like a node, you don't really realize it. You gotta fix it real fast. It helps. It helps a ton down on Undo History is up done. But in the channel rack, I have the FL key. If you haven't checked out my other videos, I always start my I always start my beats off with FL keys, just to get the sound pattern melodies just out of my head. If there's one in there, just quickly onto the canvas, and I call the piano roll the canvas, because painting. Then right under that, we got your hi-hat, snare, No, it says sub. It's just because I have a preset saved. I'm gonna tell you about that soon. And right underneath that, we got the 808 kick. All of these sounds is available to you when you download the free and or any version of FL. I have a bunch of sounds. I'm just trying to use all default sounds that's readily available to the beginner person, because obviously you're not going to have any DAW VST or aftermarket VSTs installed because you just downloaded it. Who go buys Arcade, Nexus, and Omnisphere, which is like $1,000 worth of plugins day one, and you don't even like it the next day? Like, free is the way. I'm gonna show y'all some beats I made when I first downloaded FL. Like, you can make a lot of cool stuff with just like 95% of my category is just default sounds. Like, you can do a lot with default sounds. It's all in the app. It's all in mixing. Like, mixing is amazing. Which brings me to my next little area. Close this, minimize that. The mixer. You will, depending on how you make slash engineer, you will spend 60% of your time in here and 40% in just a pattern arranger playlist, because this is where you get, this is the bread and butter of the sound. This is where all your sound effects are, your sliders for the that controls sliders that control sound. You can put, well, this is like a more I say intermediate, maybe expert, what you call it, tactic that I love to use that adds like volume to the sound, like room. Just I would just, well, usually just RR and just make it a different color. And I just go over to, they update and added stuff, and they keep moving stuff around, but it's just in delay reverb, for instance. Then say you have this here, you just sidechain this to this, and they have reverb on this too. Well, now this controls not only, well, this don't control sound. This slider controls how much reverb is actually getting applied to whatever is sidechained to it. Sidechaining, reverb, I guess isolation, just what this called. I don't know the official term, but intermediate stuff, get into it later. Don't worry about it. Just little cool stuff you'll know. But the mixer, wonderful. Over here is how you access your mixer controllers. You can either right click anywhere right here, and when you right click right there, this drop down menu will, not everything, but just pretty much the basics of whatever you need. For instance, say you need some distortion, you just go to the distortion tab. All this is distortion. You want some reverb right here, all this is reverb. You want some dynamics, you want to add some dynamics to it, make your sound more fuller, make it sound spacey, make it sound underwater. That's all this right here. Filters, you don't know what filters do. Oh, guess you don't know what filters do. Filters also manipulate the sound, make the sound make the sound more unique and cool. Like, once again, y'all will learn, y'all will get it, we will get it. Now the same area, if you right click it, you will see everything. Now I do believe it's probably everything in the drop down menu, but you actually like see it. Like, you see what the VST is when you actually open it. Edison is really good for sampling. It's a recorder that allows you to chop up everything and get what you want. Girls B is a real good sound manipulator. Sound Goodizer is a real good amp for like just everything, like make your instruments sound more professional. Fruity Parabolic EQ is good for cutting out the high lows and amping up the full 80 mids. There's each one of these has a use. Do I use all of them? No. I've never even used hardcore. I've never used YZ controller. I never use stereo enhancer. I don't even for use Edison. Like, it's all here for you to use. Do you have to use it? No. There's no cut dry. There's no rules to music. You just use what you want and just make it, bro. Gal, alien, just make it. This right here, right to the right of the mixer, is it bring out the drop down menu for the plugin picker. Is this the plugin picker? Yeah, plugin picker. I call this my toolbox. Let's bring out the toolbox with all my tools in here. My tools to create. From top down, this is just your current project. This is how you can quickly get to your history without going to view and undo history. Then below that, you have recent files. It's just everything you recently opened. You actually closed something and didn't exactly knew what it's called, but it was like, oh, what was that? That's where you'll go. Plugin database. These are all the FL and aftermarket VSTs you download will go here. Then like this one thing I don't like about FL is all these click down windows. They can get very confusing for beginner people, and I was one of them. Just long story short, when you first download FL, ignore the plugin database. Only worry about the plugin preset. The plugin database, you only need to use the plugin database if you have a lot of aftermarket VSTs installed, because this is where they all come up. I'm on a new computer, so I only have Arcade installed, but on my other computer, I had like over 100 plus. But plugin presets, this is where you will spend all your time. As you notice, there is no VST area for plugin presets because all your VST goes to the database. So when you click on that, you probably hear me clicking. Nothing will happen. You have generators. Now, generators is not what you may think. It's sound generators. We ain't making power here.
Stop it.
3X oscillator or OSC. This is where my sub bass preset is from. I can show y'all. It's real simple. Give y'all first little preset. All you do to but once you download FL, you will realize there's not really much like good sub basses for like hip hop and R&B. All the subs they give you is really primarily for my headset just started yelling at me. It's primarily for EDM, house, and whatnot. But all you have to do is just open 3S OSC, and these two courses, you just boom 0 0. That's it. That's literally default sub. That's literally all I do. You don't touch none of these. You don't touch none of these. You don't touch none of this. It's just these two courses. Put them in 0. And after that, you have to go into the mixer and open up a parabolic equalizer. I'm not going to show, but I'm gonna just go to it. I call it sexy bass because it's real quick. Just pull the 1 up to read that correctly, around 67 hertz, 61%. Then the 7, you just bring it down to 0% around 76 hertz, and you'll have a nice sounding bass. That's not mine. This is my first one. This one sounds alright too, but this is just for me messing around. So if I can get that for messing around, y'all can get that for messing around. Most of the stuff y'all will come across is just from y'all messing around. So when in doubt, break your doll, bro. Like I just broke it. I didn't mean to do that. Break your doll. It's okay. I gotta reopen FL and bring everything back. Everything's back. Always was it the 64. I explain in like intermediate and expert, but just get used to making beats in 64 measures. Not 64 measures, 64 pattern length. Don't make some bangers. This is just a project picker. When I first went to this, it scared me. I was like, who is playing? Here's the goose. Who you glide over it and it makes the sound, which is nice. you can hear what it sounds like. And this, we don't have any patterns, so this is where your patterns would be. All your channels, patterns, both. On the little paper one, to the right of that is their project picker. This is everything from SliceX is wonderful if you're trying to make like really like fast choppy like kick patterns. If you don't know how to do it just in the piano roll, that's real good for if you have a sample and or you made your own sample. If you want to chop it up and arrange it around real quick, you can use that. That's real nice too. SliceX is nice. Fruity Slicer is the not dumbed down version, but the beginner friendly version. But once you really get into it, you should use SliceX. SliceX is slept on in my opinion. But this is everything from VSTs, not VSTs, sound generators that's already in FL, and mixer controllers. Like everything is right there. I don't ever click on this because, as you can see, it's just too much. This is the tempo tapper. Just got a tempo in your head. Just
Why?
then you just keep, humming or whatever the song is till you get the tempo tapped out. Then you just start either making it at that tempo or pick your own tempo. This, I truly don't have any clue what this is. Never used it. Don't even really see what it's for. Besides, if you don't have it, well, I have a MIDI that already have the touchpads on it. So I guess if you don't have a MIDI with touchpads, you can set these up. I've never used this, so I don't really know how to set that up. Let's put all that out the way. Tempo, well, not even tempo. Actually, yes, tempo. But out the way, tempo. For beginner trap music, just stay within 130 to 160 beats per minute. If you're looking to make it's like not slower but more R&B, hip hop, just not upbeat, hyper, but just upbeat, high tempo trap music, stay around 80 to 120 is the sweet spot for R&B and hip hop. Like for example, I'll say old school Kendrick. I have an old school Kendrick, like I guess Two Pimp a Butterfly is old school Kendrick. Your boy is getting old. To Pimp a Butterfly, all those songs is primarily is in the range of 80 to 120. If anything, some may be around like high 125, but I don't think any of those is. Besides, it's been a while since I even heard. Well, I'm horrible at song names, so all right, and some other songs I'm pretty sure is at 130 or a little bit above. So they're more in the trap speeds. But just keep in mind, trap 130, 160, R&B, hip hop 80 to 120. Obviously, you don't have to stay in that range. You can make songs at 500 beats per minute or 10 beats per minute. It really don't matter. It's all up to you. Play around. I made a banger at 40 beats per minute once. Another thing I just need to say, and I just cannot say this enough, there is no set time your beat needs to be finished.
No, God!
When I first started making beats, I used to take a week to 2 weeks for a beat. Like, not like a 3, not 4, not 5, like a single beat. I thought it was like fine. I mean, I got my creative process out. It was a nice little flow. But then you start watching YouTube and people tell you that, oh bro, that's too long. If you can't make a beat in 10 minutes to 10 to 15 minutes, it's automatically garbage, bro. You're taking too much time. You're wasting everything. Now, I believe that's completely false and truly just depends on what you're doing. If you want to challenge yourself and see if you can make a beat in 15 minutes, by all means, you can make a beat in 15 minutes. And y'all might be saying, well, sample beat. I personally don't care whether the beat's sampled or 100% sampled or 100% you or even in the middle 50-50. I just listen to the idea. And 9 out of 10, you don't even know if the beat's sampled unless you go do extensive research and or talk to the producer. I when I was younger, I used to be like, oh, this is a sample beat. It's not you or me, like blah blah blah. Like, but nah. Now, like, it's the idea, because it can be sampled. Like, you know how much work it is to make sample beats sometimes. Like, it's even non-sample beats. And just as music creators, we always should be judging the final product. Listen to the sound. Who cares how he made it? As a producer, you may care how he made it, but at the end of the day, it's the track, how the track sounds. If he did hella extra stuff that you wouldn't do, who cares? Let that man work. You gonna make a beat. Tell him that. You make one. And also, your first beat will not be your best. Don't get stuck on that either. I wish I was on my other. Oh, I wish my other computer still worked. A snail is faster than the processor on that computer. It's super slow. But I will be able to show my first beat in like another video. So, but yeah, your first beat. I said it earlier in the video. It could be amazing, it could be horrible, but every beat you make will not be the best. It may be the best to you, but if you make beats for, well, there's two ways you gotta look at it. There's the selling beat perspective. If you're making beats for other people, then obviously you have to listen to other people because you're trying to sell it. Yes, you can make beats that you like only, but you're not paying for your music, so I just feel like that's a dead end route. Or you can just make music that you really enjoy. And yes, you can also sell, because I feel like any beat that has the proper arrangement can have a vocal presence, no matter how crazy amount of instruments is on it. If it has the proper arrangement that allows the artist to tell a story, bro, you can sell it. Spotify been playing some songs and the beat be sounding crazy. It be sounding like a dubstep house underground hip hop beat. Personally, I don't think. Well, I'm not a rapper, so I have the beats out here. I don't. My freestyle is funny, but the rappers, like rapper brains, is work differently from producer brains. So just put it out there if you want to. All I'm saying is, like, don't sell your soul to make some music. If you trying to get a quick buck, I've been making beats for I don't know 3-4 years now, and I only sold a total of 2. And I sent out at least 100 plus, and out of all those, got 0 songs. So it's a journey, yo. So now I'm gonna start getting into the beats. Ooh, wow! I didn't know that can go there. First off, thank you for making it this far in the video. I appreciate each and every one of you that sat through all of it in its entirety. This was part 1 of the beginner beat series that I am making. In this video, I hopefully showed you where the playlist, channel rack, the mixer, plugin picker / toolbox, the project / channel picker, tempo tapper, touchpads, BPM / tempo, and a whole bunch of beginner knowledge in this video. If you want me to touch up on anything, just slap it down in the comment section down below, and you know I will do my best to explain more on it. And part 2 will be uploaded very, very soon. I just have to do some more little editing on it. But comment Denver Mountains so I know you made it all the way to the end of the video. It's not a giveaway, just who don't want to type out Denver Mountains, go look it up. They're beautiful. Once again, thank you for watching it. If you learned anything new, hit that like button. If you hated it, hit that dislike button, and let me know down in the comments what you would like different, or what you want me to touch on more. Once again, leave a comment if you have any comments, and check out the next one. Bye.